All right, so check it out. It's the 8th of Av. Well, it depends on if it's sunset and what time zone you're in, right? So 726, 727 is the 9th of Av. And I know I said I'm not going to make any more Rapture videos here on a public forum unless something big comes up. And this is something big coming up. I'm not setting a high watch date or anything like that. I'm just pointing out facts about the 9th of Av. The 9th of Av is the day Noah releases the raven and the dove. We've calculated it, but every year to make sure our calendars are correct, we always get confirmation on the 9th of Av because something always happens on the 9th of Av. Last year, a month prior, we said look to these dates for something big to happen, and it did. It was that big, huge red bull. Basically the golden calf worship at the Commonwealth Games. And the 9th of Av is when they declared that it's going to stay there permanently. The year prior, we did the same thing. About a month before, he said, hey, look to these dates. It was like August 16th, 17th, 18th, depending on where in the world you are. And guess what happened? That was the day that Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, left all our troops behind and weapons and helicopters and everything, and lightning struck the tip of the Washington Monument, the 9th of Av. So, of course, every year I'm looking at the 9th of Av for an event. Just very interesting, this year it's 726, 727. And 726, Gregorian, yes, but 726 means the Harpazo. Immense joy. And some correlate it to the rapture, a physical rapture. So July 26th, after sunset, we'll start the 9th of Av. And then until July 27th, before sunset, it'll be the 9th of Av. That's the date. And that's the date Noah releases the raven and the dove. So check it out. It's kind of inverted here, but you see the raven is facing left as you wear it. If you're looking at me, it's facing left. And there's 6 ravens. The word raven is used 6 times in the Bible. And the dove is facing right. And we have the 7 colors in the rainbow, which is light, 7-fold Spirit of God. And in the sun here, we have Pleiades, which is like the 7 churches. And the 9th of Av it's dripping in blood. It's a bloody date. Many things happened. Like I said, World War I started, and by proxy, and the event that started World War II occurred on the 9th of Av. First temple destroyed, 9th of Av. Second temple destroyed, 9th of Av. Every year, something happens on the 9th of Av, big. And there's many other things throughout history that you can see that occurred on the 9th of Av. So 726, July 26th, being Harpazo, also being the 9th of Av, I think it's something to look to. I'm not saying to look for a high watch date for a rapture or anything like that. I'm saying, look, every year something happens on the 9th of Av. If you don't want to agree with that, well, you're going to have to go through history and look for yourself and see. World War I, 9th of Av. First temple destroyed, 9th of Av. Second temple destroyed, 9th of Av. Last year, a month prior, we said, look to this date, and it happened. The year before, month prior, look to this date, and something happened. So we're going to do it again this year. So we're looking at July 26th, 27th, depending on what time zone you're in. Well, let's just say the 26th to the 28th. So it's the 8th of Av, yeah, but you got to remember it's sunset to sunset. So on the 26th, prior to sunset, it is the 8th of Av. And then after sunset, it becomes the 9th of Av until the 27th before sunset. That whole period from sunset to sunset is the 9th of Av. You know what? Let me grab my calendars from the last 2 years. Hang on. Real quick, let's just catch up on this year. We were watching to find that first sliver, and then we'll know we're in Nisan 1, Abib. So it's sunset to sunset. So this would have been Adar 29 prior to sunset. The first sliver was spotted. That puts us in Nisan 1 or Abib 1. This is this year, right? And then from Pentecost, first fruits, and then the last day of unleavened bread, and then we started counting the Omer. But here, check it out. So, hang on. We've been keeping track, like a lot, and documenting everything. But interesting that Tishri right here, let's go to Heshvan. So it was Heshvan was the first month until God switches it in Exodus 12 and makes Nisan the first month. But Noah and his family get on the ark, Nisan 10, which was November 4th, right? And then the 7-day warning, but all this stuff. So this is this year. My phone died. Where were we? So the 9th of Av August 16th, 17th, 18th, 15th. We're all saying the month prior, just look towards these dates. Something big will happen, right? And lo and behold, this is the day after Biden pulled out of Afghanistan. Like we said, everything, right? And the year following, the big Red Bull at the Commonwealth Games. I gotta start sharing these calendars again because I know it's interesting. And we kept track of everything, like all the tornadoes were happening here. The floodwaters stop Kislev 27th, right? Which is interesting because, hang on, Tishri, and then, oh yeah, right here. So the 27th, but the following year. So it's a year and 10 days. Very interesting, the 10-day period here, which is the moon is 10 days different than the sun, like 354 days in the moon cycle, but 365 in the sun. So we're keeping track and we're watching the moon. We're waiting till we see the first sliver and then we can do the rest of the month. And let's look at the 9th of Av being, oh, look right here. I had a 726. We had an idea there. But again, like I said, this is not about like rapture, high watch date settings, but this is the 9th of Av. This is a big deal. We have confirmation 2 years in a row just since we've been watching, but look throughout all history. Just Google 9th of Av events and you'll see all these articles come up. And yes, World War I started. First temple destroyed, second temple destroyed. So 9th of Av, when we go through Genesis and we chart it out exactly, and we got to remember that only in Genesis is it not using Nisan as a first month. God switches it in Exodus 12. I think he said, this will be the first month of you, the month of Abib, which got changed to Nisan. And the reason it was called Abib is because it means ripe barley, which is also Abib, which is the star in the barley in the hand of Virgo. It used to be called Abib, but they changed it to Spica. A lot of things been going on, but the 9th of Av is a very, very interesting date. Let's look at this. If you see it like this, the raven is facing to the left, which is like the left-hand path, and the right is the righteous path, the right hand. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ravens. These are for sale in my Teespring. Go to my profile. I have this and the dandelion one and the fish with the coin in its mouth. But it's Noah releasing the raven and the dove. The raven went to and fro and did nothing, but the dove got the olive branch and brought it back, and Noah brought it in by the sole of its foot. So the dove representing the Antichrist spirit because it went to and fro. Because remember in the book of Job, when God said, where hast thou been to Satan? Satan says, going to and fro upon the earth. But all things work together for good. God uses the ravens to feed Elijah. Interesting too, the word dove is used either 18 or 19 times, but it also means grace and manger in the concordance. So we're talking about 726 and July 26th, July 27th. 726 meaning harpazo, immense joy, coincidentally occurring on the 9th of Av. If we look closely here too, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors in the rainbow. And then here's Pleiades, the 7 stars for the 7 churches. A lot of detail and a lot of things went into this. And there's a lot more about the 9th of Av, a lot more. But that's the basics of it. There's a video on my YouTube. You can also go to my link tree and click like video playlist, spiritual journey, and look for the raven and the dove. And the raven went to and fro or something like that. It's like a 2-hour video, but it covers a lot of this 9th of Av stuff. And I find it very interesting that it is occurring on 726 this year. And every year something happens on the 9th of Av. Every year something happens on the 9th of Av, and we've set it a month prior to look at these dates, and it happens. We're not prophesying anything. We're just showing that, look, our calendars are correct, and the 9th of Av is this date. Some people have this date on as Pentecost, 726, and I'm interested to see how some of y'all calculated that date. But this is on the calendar I use, which the Hebrew calendar is correct this year because they added the Adar 2 last year. I just find it very interesting. So this is going to the left, right? Left-hand path, and the right, the righteous path. That it's on 726, which means harpazo, which means immense joy. Some people correlate it to the rapture, a physical rapture, but there's a spiritual rapture when you're sealed with the Holy Spirit, immense joy. But a physical rapture, we'll see. We don't set dates. But the ninth of Av is